PM2012R2 has added a new function called polar machining. Polar machining allows us to replace the X or the Y axis with the C axis. So let's take a look at a toolpath that is not using polar machining. Here I've got 5 holes in a circular pattern. What I will do is just animate this, and you can see that the machine tool is not using the C axis, it's using the X and the Y axis to move from one hole to the next. Now the next toolpath has got polar machining switched on. So if I just take a look at this toolpath, here I've got a new option on the form called Machine Axis Control. If I just clone this toolpath, you can see I've got an orientation type, so it's not the default free, I've changed it to polar. Then I can select a rotation center if it is not the active work plane. So this could be another work plane which is at the center of the C axis. And then I decide which axis to lock, the X or the Y. So in this instance I'm locking the X axis at a value of 0. I could lock the X axis at a value of 20, 40, minus 40. Any particular constant value is okay. So if we go back to the original toolpath, simulate from the start, and if I now simulate this, here we can see that instead of using the X-axis, it's using the C-axis. This time I've locked it at X20. So if I simulate from the start, and this time I'm just going to raise the machine tool dialog so that you can see, here we can see it is already locked at X20, and if I simulate through the toolpath, the C-axis, or in this case actually the B-axis, spins around and the X-axis remains constant at 20. So we can see the same for a milling toolpath without polar machining. So polar machining is switched off in this instance, and there we can see we're utilizing the X and the Y along with the Z to machine this upper surface. If I just stop that, this time I'm going to use a toolpath with polar machining switched on. Again, I'll put on the machine tool display for you just to show you that the X-axis is not moving, and now we're utilizing the C-axis rather than the X-axis, which is static. Now when you're using polar machining, there are two main areas that you need to be aware of. It is only for 3-axis toolpaths, so this does not work on 4 or 5-axis toolpaths, and it also requires the Delcam post processor. This will not work with duct post. So any customers who want to use this that have the old duct post option files, they will need to be replaced with new Delcam post processor option files. Thank you.